Welcome, and thank you for joining us again for another Farmer Tan devotional. And today we're going to be in Romans chapter 5. And this is a verse you kind of hear a lot, and for good reason. It's a really good verse. It's just when I was reading through Romans, it really grabbed my attention again. And so don't be surprised if it seems familiar, but I kind of wanted to speak on that this week. So let's go down. Let's start in verse 6. When we were utterly helpless, Christ came at just the right time and died for us sinners. Now, most people would not be willing to die for an upright person, though someone might perhaps be willing to die for a person who is especially good. But God showed his great love for us by sending Christ to die for us while we were still sinners. Now, I hear a lot of people saying we're all sinners, and I'm not casting judgment on that. I just don't necessarily care for that saying. To me, when someone is called a sinner, that is someone who knows they're not on the right path, but yet they continue to follow that path anyway. That's their choice. That's the free will God gave us, right? I think kind of what they're meaning, and maybe a better way of saying it, is we all sin. The difference is when we're in Christ, when we sin, we are remorseful of that, right? And we ask for forgiveness. Whereas I think when the Bible's referring to sinners, they're talking about people who are living for themselves, who are following their own path in that sin, and they still continue to follow it. And here in Romans, Paul says, when we were there, that's where Christ met us and died for us. As believers, we can kind of look back in the times in our lives that we were living for ourselves. We were okay in that. We were gratifying our own desires. And most of us see that as a low point in our lives. And when you think about that, that is where Jesus met us. It is not at our best. It is not when we were baptized or when we came to him. Jesus, when we were still sinners, was willing to die for us. And that's pretty amazing. And if you're not someone who is currently walking with Christ, and but maybe feel that tug on your heart, I know a lot of people think they need to fix some things in their lives. I need to get past this addiction. I need to treat some people a little better. I haven't been treating people that well. Let me get that fixed, and then I'll be ready enough to kind of start walking along Christ. But we can never do that ourselves, right? We can't clean ourselves up well enough to be in the presence of God. We can never fix enough things in our lives. It's only through Christ we can do that. So wherever you're at right now, know Jesus looks down where we were at our worst, and he died for us there. Even when he was on the cross, there was crowds mocking him and shout and crucify him. And what did Jesus say? Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. So even in that moment when they were poking fun out of him and telling him that, hey, save yourself, Jesus still was willing to die for them. We're all worth dying for, no matter where we're at. Have a great week, everybody.